Cascade Hoops Talk, this is Billy D. Hey, today we have Eric Echelbarger. He's the head men's basketball coach, IU Kokomo, the Cougars. Buckle up. Cascade Hoops Talk starts right now. Cascade Hoops Talk, produced in the shadow of the beautiful Cascade Mountains and bringing the world NAIA basketball. One podcast at a time. Hey, today we have Eric Echelbarger. He's the head men's basketball coach, IU Kokomo. Coach Echelbarger has kind of just been building a quiet little powerhouse there year after year. He just keeps stacking the seasons. He has a huge high winning percentage there. The Cougars are right there every year. Probably one of the most stable programs in the country. Definitely one of the most stable in the River States. And let's take a listen to Eric Echelbarger, IU Kokomo, the Cougars.
Yeah.
Cascade Hoops Talk, Billy D. Hey, I got Eric Echelbarger, IU Kokomo on the phone. Welcome, Coach. Thanks for being on.
Hey, Billy, it's great to talk with you, man. Good to catch back up with you. I can't believe we're right at that time of year again when we're getting ready to roll the balls out. We're super excited up here at IU Kokomo. Looking forward to getting it going and working hard and just one day at a time right now.
Well, I'm getting ready to do some traveling, so by the time people hear this, we'll already be playing some basketball games. I'm going to head out to Indiana, and I'm going to go down to Arizona, cover a couple tournaments. I'm getting pretty excited about it, and you've got some big challenges coming up. We're going to talk about that as well. You know, Coach, one thing I want to kind of start with a little bit. You had a really, well, before we talk about last season, folks don't realize, you know, Coach, you're going into your, I know you know this, 8th season. You've won 187 games, almost an 80% win percentage. When you came in there, IU Kokomo needed some help. You got that thing turned around, and you have been highly successful there. What have been 2 or 3 of the things that have really helped you produce such a great program there at IU Kokomo?
Yeah, well, you know, I came at a good time. This program had been around for 5 years before I got here in 2018, and like every program, you know, when you start the program, there's some growing pains you have to go through. So I came here at a good time, and then we've just been able to really recruit some great people in our program, some guys that really have bought into, you know, how we want to play, our style of play, our approach to the game of basketball. Mm-hmm. And just kind of made it an atmosphere that is attractive for people to be here at IU Kokomo. And some of our earlier groups there in 2018 and 2019 and even through COVID really kind of set the tone for our program. And we've just been able to try to continue, you know, to recruit good kids. I've been very fortunate, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I've had some great assistant coaches here with me at IUK. I've had Roosevelt Jones, who was a Butler legend, and then I had DJ Valentine, who's a hometown guy here in Kokomo, who's now at University of Evansville. Our all-time leading scorer joined our staff in 2022, Traquan Spivey. He's a Warren Central Indianapolis kid, and he's been here. He's our associate head coach now. Lennon Hardy's done a great job with our program. I'm here as well. So we've had some people here that have really just bought into what we've done and you know, just made it work. And so we're proud of what we've been able to do.
You've just done a really good job. You kind of fly under the radar just a little bit. But every year, everybody knows that you're going to be right there at the end. 21-9 last season. I thought you had a really good chance of getting in the tournament. You didn't. But you didn't, and it's just the way it is. And then you beat in the conference tournament. You beat a really good Rio Grande team, and then a team that got hot at the end, Indiana University Southeast. You fell to them. They got really hot at the end of the season, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They you know, they were. I thought they, you know, all the way through. I thought they were a good team, you know, and I don't think it was that way the entire year for them, but they definitely played great basketball at the end, and you know, they got us in the tournament. We hated to lose that game, but credit to IU Southeast on playing very well. But you know, we have the mentality where we're going to try to play every game, and we don't look past games. We take it one game at a time. And I mean, I think that's a big part of what we've been able to do as far as being consistent here. Every game we're going to show up and put our best foot forward. So I feel like that's been big when you look at the overall 8 years and our consistency.
Coach, you're like the majority of teams in the country this year. You're rolling the roster over. You lost a lot of big time scorers, Max Newman, Noah Harris, others. You lost about well, I figured it 75% of your minutes and, about the same amount of your scoring and rebounding. But you've definitely got some help coming back, and you brought in some new guys. Talk about Evan Kretz. He was a starter most of the season for you last year, and that guy just flat fills it up. He hit 93s last year, and he hardly ever misses. He's one of the best three-point shooters in the country.
Yeah, he's a great three-point shooter. Just to back up slightly, just to go back to last year, we got into a different situation. I've never been in a situation like we got into last year, where we actually had 7 players down the stretch available to play. We didn't have a number 8 guy.
I didn't realize that. Yeah.
And we actually ended up, I think, going into that conference tournament, we'd won 8 games in a row, and we're really playing good basketball with 7 guys. But you're exactly right. We did lose out of those guys. Now, we had some guys hurt last year, and we'll talk about those guys here in a little bit, but we had some guys hurt. So we did lose quite a bit of guys, but we also had some guys that weren't playing that are coming back. So, but we're excited. We have a new group. Evan Kretz is going to, lead us here this year. He was a second team all conference player in the River States. He's a fantastic shooter, just a quick release, high release, and very high percentage. So we feel good about him in that regard. But we also have some other newcomers coming back as well that I think is going to be really good for us. Ty Wills from Anderson, Indiana. He was a freshman in 2022-23. And he averaged about 16 points a game for us. He's been out. He had to have hip surgery last year. He's sat out. He's back healthy now, so he's gonna be really good for us. We also bring back Kedrick Anderson, who came on really, really strong at the end of the year last year and played a big role in our win in the conference tournament against Rio Grande. Kedrick did a really nice job in that game. And so we feel like, and then with Joseph Anand Jr. coming back as well, who played behind 2 really good players that are currently playing pro ball in Portugal right now, Noah Harris and Max Newman.
Right.
So Joe played behind them. He'll step up, and we're confident he's going to have a very, very good year this year as well. So
yeah, you got to be particularly excited about getting Ty Wills back, because he showed some great promise, didn't he?
He did. He's very strong. He's a very physical wing. He's probably 200 plus pounds at about 6'3", but just a real downhill force for us. So he gives us a little bit different dynamic as far as getting into the paint and being able to finish and draw contact and things like that. So yeah, he's definitely going to be a big piece for our team this year, no doubt about it.
Even though you did lose some key guys, how important is it for you, or what does it mean to the Cougars to have a couple seasoned seniors, Evan Kretz and Anderson, coming in that leadership? They've been through the wars and they've seen it all there in the River States.
Well, that's very important. And, we all as coaches know out there, we're turning over rosters at a faster rate than we ever have before, probably, and we're no exception to that this year. We have 9 new players, 8 of which are freshmen. So to have some seniors and returning players that know what we're trying to do, that know how we do things, that's been key. This will be the biggest turnover on roster I've had since I was here in 2018. So having an Evan Kretz, Evan brings it every day. He does things the right way. He's a great example to our younger players. Ked's coming off an injury. He's had a little bit slower of a start, but he's beginning to pick up now and kind of get going. And then you got Joe Anand back as well. We got Cameron Carnes as a returning player. So we got some guys, that have been around, that know what we're trying to do, and that's super important when you're trying to infiltrate a brand new group of a large newcomer group. So I feel like it's been very healthy. Our guys have been competing really hard in the preseason. They're very competitive. These new freshmen that we have, they really have a great competitive spirit to them, and I'm excited to see what we can do.
You and I were talking just a couple of minutes before we started about how this is probably the most freshmen you've brought in. I've seen this with other programs. Just how recruiting has changed, and you've had to kind of shift your mentality a little bit.
Yeah, it's definitely different. I know you and I talked about the junior college scene, and I love junior college. I love recruiting junior colleges. I played junior college at Olney Central a long time ago. And so we recruited when I was at McKendree, a lot of junior college players. But where we're at right now, everybody wants transfers. The way we are here at IU Kokomo, it's a little bit harder for us on the transfer scene. We kind of need the transfers to be from Indiana. And that's just for the way we kind of work our scholarships here and things like that. It just kind of works out like that. So we do love whenever we can get transfers, but our pool of transfers that we can recruit from is a lot smaller. In saying that, I think a lot of people are recruiting transfers. We see that out there today. It's very
Yeah.
appealing for Division I, Division IIs to get the transfer guys. So what we found is, and I think what other schools have found is as well, we're able to get some really, really quality freshman players in here, and no exception this year for us. I mean, I am super excited about this freshman class. They are hard-nosed competitors and talented players that I feel like can step in, and I don't think we'll miss a beat. Now, obviously, there's going to be some growing pains, as there is with any group, any young group, but the way they approach the day-to-day and the way they compete, I'm excited about it. They're the type guys you want to go to war with every day.
Yeah, I think you even were telling me that you have you might even start one or two of these guys.
No doubt. Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of these guys could potentially be in a starting role. Multiple of these guys could be in key roles to go along with our returning group. So you got a healthy mix on this team. There's definitely going to be some youthfulness, but I think great energy. Again, we're going to have to learn. We're going to have some growing pains, I'm sure, especially with the schedule we've set up. But I'm excited, and I do feel like there's a lot of upside for our group to grow throughout the year.
One key you have a couple of transfers. One key transfer. I'm going to try his name. Ibram Shakidi. Did I get it, Coach?
Yeah, you got it. You got it right there.
Exactly. But he's a big body guy. You've been around the NAIA long enough. You know you need these guys. He's a big body guy. He's been around the league or around the game. He played at Bay College. He's a junior, so he's bringing some maturity in. Talk about his game.
Yeah, Ibram's got a chance to really be very impactful for us. He runs the floor extremely fast. He is very athletic. He can provide us with some rim protection that we probably haven't had since Deshaun Hampton graduated back in 2022. Ibram's got experience. He's an Indianapolis kid, so here's another example of a transfer that's from Indiana that we were able to get back. He went to Bay College, and then he was at Dillard for a little bit last year, and then transferred back here second semester of last year. Kind of saw how we did things last spring semester, and then now he's ready to go. He's going to definitely have a big impact for us. He's working hard, and yeah, his athleticism and length is going to really benefit us. I know it's going to benefit us defensively, and he's working really hard offensively, and I think he's going to be a really big piece for us on both ends of the court.
So when you first look at your stat sheet from last year and cross off all the guys who aren't coming back, it looks kind of bleak. But when you go over to this year's roster and you see the guys you do have coming back, some of these freshmen you were able to bring in, and then a key transfer, and then another guy could be a role player. It looks to me like you're actually in pretty good shape.
I mean, we're excited, and I mean, I understand that we're young, and I understand there's a lot of things that go into being young and inexperienced. But I do like their approach. I really like how they bring it, and they're smart and they compete at a high level. So I have high hopes for our team this year. I feel like it's a team that can grow and come together, and I think we have a lot of good pieces that can gel together here. So it's just a matter of getting that to come together. And I know we're going to be challenged early and often with our schedule. I think it's a very competitive schedule. So I think that'll help get us ready for our conference, the River States, and I know that's going to be competitive, like it always is, very competitive.
I do want to talk about your schedule, but I want to go over and talk about the conference just for a moment. A little bit of a change. Alice Lloyd is now playing in the Continental, more of an independent, and then Kentucky Christian has come in. But other than that, the league is still set up the same, east to west. As you got still the same gauntlet you got to go through. Talk about the River States this season and what you see.
I mean, I think it's one of the interesting things about it is when we went over and we were doing our preseason all conference teams, we noticed how many players left last year are not here this year, and that to me that was a bigger turnover than ever before. So I think the conference is open this year. I mean, I think it's a wide open conference. I think Rio Grande returns the most guys, and three of them I think were on the all conference team, so we know they're going to have a strong year. But I think there's a lot of other teams that can make a move and be right there. So it's one game at a time. It's a good league. I mean, I know Shawnee's got a lot of new players that they brought in this year. and just up and down this league. I mean, very competitive. Of course, IU East and IU Southeast is always right there. So we just expect it to be very competitive, and we got to bring it and take it one game at a time and not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, I was looking at the preseason poll the coaches do, and like you mentioned, Rio Grande has a lot of guys coming back. They got the nod in the poll. But if you look under that, you're just a few points under that. Shawnee State's just a couple points under you. Right. I mean, the coaches, it looks like from the voting, expect it to be a very tight race.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think everybody kind of sees that. Everybody's got some new players. But again, I think we're getting some good players at this level of basketball. So, just because maybe you don't have the most guys returning doesn't mean you can't get some guys that can turn it around for you real quick through the recruiting and through the transfer, process. So right. I feel like it's going to be very, very competitive in the River States this year. Very good league.
Coach,
I think it's been good for a while. I actually think our league's been good for a while. I think it's been a really, really good league that, maybe a little under the radar, but I feel like there's quality basketball in our conference.
Coach, I love your preseason schedule. You start off with Dearborn at the start of the year. But then you're going over to Madonna. You're going to play a couple tough ones there. You're going to play Madonna. That's always good. Lawrence Tech has really been coming on the last few years. Then you're going to bring Taylor over to Kokomo. And then you're going to go up to Olivet Nazarene. That's a heck of a way to start the season.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at it, I mean, you're right. The Madonna, they have great. They have great tradition there and going up there, and obviously what he's been able to do there at Lawrence Tech. I think we played him 2 or 3 years ago, but I know they've really, really done a great job there, and just keep moving down. Taylor, Olivet, Nazarene, go to the show. You play Johnson University and Union.
Yep.
I come back for IU Southeast and then Northwest twice. So I mean, I feel like we have a very, very competitive schedule. So I feel like you won't be able to take any nights off and get through. So there's really there is no cupcakes on our schedule. We've scheduled up, and we'll be challenged every game. So, which will be a big challenge for a young team. But I like the way these guys approach every day at our practice and our preseason, and I'm excited to compete with them.
Yeah, you mentioned the IU Southeast game. That's your first conference game of the season. That's a game I've kind of circled. Any time a team knocks another team off and then they play early again the next season, I think it's always fun. For you, right, I understand it's a game. I get that. But you're going to their place. They're going to be waiting for you. The fans are going to have a lot of fun with that one. And it's one your guys are going to be hungry for as well.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. We'll be hungry for it. They'll be hungry for it. It's a great, healthy rivalry. Coach Brown does a great job down there. He's been there a long time and just does a fantastic job. So, they're going to be ready to play. And I would expect that to be a highly competitive game.
Coach, you've been around. You're going into your 8th season there at Kokomo. You've seen a lot of changes with the NAIA. Done one division, and now we're going through the transfer portal changes. Just talk about where you see NAIA basketball right now in comparison with the other leagues, how they're holding their own.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an NAIA guy. I played NAIA at McKendree. I coached NAIA also at McKendree for a long time, and then coming back up here to IU Kokomo, obviously. So I've been around the NAIA a good while, and I think the world of our level of play. I think a lot of good things are happening at our level. I think it's very competitive. I think the move to one division, there's been some adjustments in that, and the ARC rankings and things like that, and trying to iron out how that all works. I personally, because I played in it and coached in it for a long time, would love to see it get back to the one site at Kansas City.
Oh, yes.
I think that's so special when you bring the 32 teams to Kansas City, and I hope there's a way at some point we'll be able to get back to that, because I'll tell you what, that's an amazing experience, and I just think that makes the NAIA different than any other level when you bring all the teams in one location. But no, overall, I think the NAIA is in a good spot. It's healthy. I think the quality is very, very high. I mean, I literally saw we got the Florida kid that's playing for the Spurs now and things like that. And you see a lot of kids going overseas and having a lot of success. So it's exciting, and it's a great level. And I think there's great players and really good coaches at this level, and just happy to be part of it.
I've really been proud over the last few years how they really now emphasize the quality of these student athletes or scholar athletes that play in the NAIA. The vast majority are going to do their 4 years, get a degree, and go on. And I think there's just a high percentage of just very, very high quality people. A number of years ago, athletes weren't the best students on campus. Well, that has just completely turned up on its head.
Yeah, no doubt. The NAIA emphasizes that, and I think that's one of the really cool things about this level of play is, I know we want to recruit great people, number one, and you don't have to sell out at this level just to win games. And that's something that's very attractive to me at this level. We can do it the right way. We can bring in the right type people and have success and do it all without jeopardizing, what we believe in as coaches and things like that. So you get a lot of high quality student athletes that represent their schools and their communities and their campuses very well.
Well, Coach, I really appreciate you giving us a few minutes. We had to switch some times around this morning, but we made it work, and I appreciate you being flexible. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, Billy, and thanks. I say this all the time, man, but thank you so much for all you do, man. The time you put in, the effort you put into looking up all of our rosters is just amazing, and we all appreciate you.
Well, I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. It's Eric Echelbarger. He's the head men's basketball coach, IU Kokomo. They are the Cougars. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Billy.
Hey, thanks a lot to Eric Echelbarger and to IU Kokomo. Really appreciate him giving us some time right at the busy time of year for him. But thank you very much. Hey, that's all I have for today. Remember, I'm on the road. I'm making some of these shows ahead of time. Make sure you watch the X account and the Facebook account and the Substack as I start to cover these tournaments over the next couple of weeks. Hey, this is Billy D, Cascade Hoops Talk. Thank you very much for supporting our podcast. Please like and subscribe. Get out to your local NAIA school because NAIA basketball is the best entertainment value in America.